Good afternoon, YouTube. Spent quite a bit of yesterday just looking at other people's videos, getting some catching up on some videos, and I believe there's a couple questions out there that were asked, and I kind of want to answer those in this video. And then some comments were left on one of my videos about the CT Speed Shop. Are we addicted and whatnot? First of all, Chevy Cheeseburger Chip it is messaged me and says that he liked my video, and he noticed in the video my Chevy Love truck. He said he really liked the Love trucks, so I thought I'd pull this out of the case and take a picture. I built this in 2001. I showed it in 2000. I built it in 2000 and I showed it in 2001. And in 2002, you know, magazines, they work so hard to get a show coverage. In 2002, it came out in the magazine. So here's my truck with the magazine. Am I addicted? You know, we covered that yesterday. You guys see what I want. But here's the most exciting moment for me in my hobby is Chevy asked me. He specifically wanted to see one of my builds. Little Joe has specifically asked to see some of my builds. It's when you guys see something that grabs your interest that I have created, and it gets me excited, because to me, we're just building cars. To a lot of people, we're building toys. I'm building my dreams. I think it was Big Ken that had said he buys his models and he builds his models because it's all the cars he wants to own, but he'll never be able to afford. And that's how I am. That's what I want to do. I get these thoughts in my head, and I know there's no way I could ever put it out in real sheet metal, you know. I get trophies at contests. I get so many trophies, so many awards over the years at the same contest that I go to, that some of the veterans that I've been showing models with since 1990. You know, I was 15 years old, and you know, since we've been showing models and stuff like that together for so many years, they actually changed my last name to I win. And and it's pretty funny, because when I would get my name called out as a young man, you know, they did it not because of me winning. They was excited to see me grow. The men I was showing models with would be excited to see me grow. I mean, my story, I would go to a contest with my dad because he would show his real car, and I'd go to contest. I think I was going to win. I would go in there and have me a car on Fujimi gold wire wheels. I would have took a Sharpie and I'd black tinted the windows. I took in telephone wire and I detailed my motor, but it was way out of scale. But to me, I didn't see that. To me, I'm a 10, 11-year-old kid, and I'm excited because I go to the table and I put my car down. The guy next to me, his car's out of box, but I don't see the cleanliness of his. I don't see the no glue smears, no seams. You know, I don't see that. As a young child, I go up there and I look, and all I see is a, you know, it's a box stock kit, and I'm like, dude, I got this. I got this. Look, I got these wheels, I got wires, I got my motors detailed, my windows are tinted, you know, I got this. And then when they do the contest and they start showing and they start calling out names, I don't get called, and I'd go to a guy and I was like, what I do, man, you guys don't know how to judge. You guys pick this guy because, you know, he's your buddy. And it took a couple years. It took a couple years for me to settle down. You know, I'm getting upset. It took a couple years for me to get past that and realize I'm just throwing stuff into this model kit. I enjoy building them. I'm building 40 a year, 40 a month sometimes, you know. Whatever I was able to cut grass and get me $5, my mom and dad would, instead of taking us 4th of July in, or trick-or-treating, or, you know, these other little holidays, my mom and dad, they were pressed for time, they were pressed for money. So instead of buying all this stuff because it's been all commercialized, Dad gave us an option. even at Christmas time. We sat down and read the story of Jesus and how everything would come. We'd sing our silent nights. We would go watch our Christmas lights. But Mom and Dad, at one point, they stopped buying us gifts because we'd open them up on Christmas Day. By January 1st, we was bored. We was wanting something else. We was already asking for stuff for our birthdays. So Mom and Dad, I'm going to say maybe about 12 years old, 13 years old, they said, here's what we're going to do. 4th of July, you can either go buy $20 worth of fireworks. When you're done, you're done. I'm going to give you $20 and you can do whatever you want with. Me, light bulb went off. 4 models, $20, $5 a piece, Hobby Heaven at my local mall. Boom, give me that money. TGMY, $4.50 a piece. Boom, give me that money, Dad. I know what I'm going to get. So I started getting model kits. And I would get, and I would just get, and I would get, and I would build, and I would build. And I'd go to these shows taking 30, 40 models. You know, I'm overwhelmed. And these guys would ask me when I'm showing up to the shows, how many did you bring this time? How many did you bring this time? Hey, I win. How many did you bring this time? You know, and I would have other people waiting. They'd stop entering their models. They'd come over to the desk where I was filling out my sheets just to see what I was building. I wasn't winning nothing yet. But what I was doing is I was overwhelming people by how much I could build at a young man, you know. But that's what my priorities were. I didn't really have any other, I'm going to say addictions, since we're talking about plastic addictions. I didn't have no more addictions that would draw me away. So this is what I did. I built models. I learned how to detail. You know, I was getting better. By this age, I was getting a lot better. Like I said, now in 2000, I was 20 years old. So, you know, I was getting better. I'd been started to use automotive paints and clears. My uncle had a body shop, and I got in with him at 17 years old, and he's teaching me how to mix and do stuff. So, you know, I was more advanced by the time I built this. You know, I still wasn't perfect, you know, but I was just getting more advanced into my thing. So I pulled this out. I wanted Chevy to see it up close, maybe get a better video for him to show him, you know, that it's been in the magazine. This right here is a survivor. My father had actually built this out of the exact monogram kit. When he built it, it was in the white box, had the little UFO stuff there, and one of my gifts for my dad was, I get to pick a model every now and then out of his cabinet. So I picked this one and I restored it. Pegasus wheels, shaved the bumpers all the way around. Took out the monogram motor and put me in a resin motor that I had made between 2 other blocks. I'd put plastic in there, made it wider, took some drag valve covers, took the carburetor from a 57 Chevy race car, you know, and you know, it might not be dead on to scale there, but I was doing things, you know, I was doing things, and that's what, you know, was exciting. So this right here was another thing. Since I got this out, Chevy had also asked, he noticed I had glass on my table, and he asked, what purpose does this have, and does it help? And for me, Chevy, and any other builder out there, this right here is a fish tank. I found a fish tank on the side of the road. I took off the sides. Of one fish tank to get this piece here, and it's the whole length of my table on that side. And I took this piece right here, was from like a speaker cabinet, because it's longer. The most truest, flattest item you can have is glass. Metal will bend, wood warped, you know. So I use glass. That glass keeps me the most even I can on my desk. If your desktop is level, I should say, with the floor, then the glass is the best way to stay level. Plus, I got razor blades that, like, when I spill my glue and stuff, it just comes right off. You know, you just scrape it off. You can see little cuts and stuff in there. I'm easy to cut with it. I also have other pieces of glass up here that I use to cut my pinstripes for on my lowrider models, and on the other things that I cut up. This right here, yeah, I've actually engraved this one. If you guys can see that, you know, it's just, I actually engraved that one. But it's basically just to help keep everything level and even, Chevy. Easy to clean up. easy to protect, like my wiring diagrams for my engines. It's easy to protect that. I have this here at all times. It's not in the way. I don't have to search for it. It's always going to be right here. It gets to hold down my little logo. There's Rick's at Scale Dreams. There's Jeffrey's stuff if you guys are really into workable lowrider models and some really neat custom stuff like that. The guy is from he's from the Netherlands, a really good guy, very well known. You might want to go check him out. He has his own channel also on YouTube, so you guys can go check out Jeffrey's. Super good, and I think it's his girlfriend. They custom make dolls. You know, they're really neat people to know. We see this magazine here. This is the truck that was in it. I've been in all these other magazines. You know, I think there's maybe 11 here, but this is my biggest reward. I'm gonna tell you guys, this is my biggest reward, because I can win trophies at shows. You know, I got best of trophies right there, best paint 2010. I got all those trophies there. I got trophies boxed up on the other side of my room because I have no room to put them. I've got hundreds and hundreds of trophies, plaques, and ribbons. Who sees those? Who really ever sees the awards we win? Unless I pull them out and start bragging to you guys won't never see them. Not unless you come over to my place. But the biggest reward I've ever gotten is a magazine. Because once you're in print, that's worldwide, or wherever we sell the magazines, that I should say. You know, the Model Cars magazine shows super good coverage. Scale Auto is getting back to really good coverage. They, you know, you gotta have the bills paid, so they do a lot of sponsors. But you know, back in the day, we had Lowrider Bicycle magazine showed models. We had Lowrider model magazines. We got a young man that's doing magazines all on his own, Lism Cash. You know, they're not out very often. You know, there's a few in there, but I'm in all these. They've selected my models for, you know, all this stuff. You know, and here's another one he had. You know, we have I believe George is on Facebook, and Gary Seeds is on Facebook, and I believe they both have a YouTube channel. I don't know their name right off top, but you know, they're just great builders in here, and I'm along lines of these great builders when you get to see our stuff in the magazine. Dr. Cranky stuff is in the magazine, and this one magazine right here, all four of these here are my builds. All four of those were my builds. And you know, you take your models to a car contest, there's 400, 500 kits sometimes. Just to place is awesome. So don't get me wrong. But when a photographer comes up and says, hey, I'm interested in what you have. I want to hear your story. I want to know what made you build this, and I want to know for what reason you believe this model is what it is. And it's just amazing. You know, you think I'm excited now? You guys should meet me in person at shows. Man, I'm all over the place. I get so excited meeting builders, seeing what's been built, seeing what's been there, you know, what's there to be bought. Now, Detroit Muscle 59, he asked us two questions. He asked, what style should you follow, and what are some of your failures? I believe you follow what your gut tells you to. You follow what your mind says you're capable of, I want to say. Trying things is the best way to do it. Try your own ways, use your own products, build your own style, but do it for you. Do never ever build for anyone else but yourself. So follow your passion. That's who you should follow. When we're giving tips and tricks, that's just to help you guys out, give you a little something to look at, maybe something to try. Maybe you was thinking about it in your head, but you couldn't figure out how to do it on your table. You know, that's what the tips and tricks are for. But by all means, please yourself when you're building. You'll have better builds, you'll have more fun. And then, what are some of my failures? I guess my failures have been cutting stuff up, trying new things, and I waste a $15 kit. But to me, it's not a waste. You just turn around and you make that kit for parts. Have a guys good day. Thank you.